there's a little bit more water. I just used one of these little pipettes I had for the art room. And I'm just going to make sure that all those areas are nice and wet. It'll take a good long while for it to dry, but it'll be worth it because it'll all spread out and it'll look really nice. So what we want to do in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, is I'm going to show you, I'm just going to lift this very gently because the paint's starting to run, and I'm going to just move this very gently out of the way. So while that dries, we'll go ahead and work on the marker snowflakes. Make sure that this is dried off. Okay, so with these, we can do the marker snowflakes, but let's go ahead and let's do a regular snowflake like I cut out, and let's make it so that it will dry with marker on it. Now, when we do these, it's going to work the same way as this. This one's a drawing, and this one's going to be a cutout. So I want to fold the circle in half and really, really make sure I've got good creases, really good pushing down. I want to do the same thing for this project too, but I'm going to take my fold and put my fold upon the other fold and push down. And I can see that my little ruffled edge on the outside is still okay. And I want to do it one more time. I'm going to take my folded edge and go over to my folded edge and push down. You could even do one more time if you want to. That'll just give you more of the spikes. Now, actual snowflakes have 6, and we're going to do 8 just because it's easier. Because you have to do one of those third folds in the middle if you want to do a 6-section snowflake, and it's a pain. So we're not going to worry about that. What I want to do on here is I want to cut out some different stuff so that I will have things in my snowflake. Now, if you don't cut anything on this tip, on this very corner tip of your coffee filter, it will be whole in the center. But this one I clipped off the tip. So if you want to do that, you would need to just cut off the tip of the snowflake. And each one of these is going to be one of your sides of your snowflake. So you can make your cut, and you can see it's going to be every other thing that you create. So this side would have been my, like say that was my longer pattern. Then I made the other side a different pattern. And we call this radial symmetry, where it's copying the same thing in a mirror around the center. And that's sort of like how we look at our hands or butterfly wings, where we see that it's a mirror image. So we're just going to go ahead and cut. See, we've got it folded. We did 3 folds. Let's make sure we got this again. So 1, and then 2, folded sides together, 2, and then folded sides together again, 3. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a little something in the center. And I'm just going to do tiny little shapes. It's going to be itty bitty shape there. And I want to just make sure that I'm not cutting all the way across my coffee filter. That's all I want to do. I want to keep my points up here. Some people want to cut them off. So maybe you want to come up with an idea first. There's loads of patterns and stuff online, but I'm going to kind of go along with the creases that are on the coffee filter. I see one right there. So I'm going to cut my triangle there. And maybe here I'll make a round shape. And it doesn't really have to be like the same kind of, it doesn't have to be a special pattern or anything. I'm just cutting shapes out on the edges. Okay, so I did that edge. Now I want to make sure I don't cut these off. So I can cut along this edge and cut along this edge, but I don't want to cut off my tops. So I'm going to cut some thing in here. Maybe I'll weave around. And I'm sort of trying to come up with some ideas for what I want my snowflake drawing to be also. So do those. And I'm just going to enjoy cutting from edge to edge. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I got to make sure I don't cut it off. So I'm going to cut in between. same thing here. Nice curve in between, not cutting any pieces off. All right. And so I got lots of stuff I got to take care of here and get rid of. But I want to go ahead and paint on this. Markers are paint. They're just sort of in a stick form. So I'm going to go ahead and put my marker stuff on this without opening it up. I want to leave my folds where they were, where I made them, to the best that I can do it. Because sometimes I can see there's a little tear already in the coffee filter, but I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the plastic with this one. And I think I'll draw some different colors this time. So maybe I'll do some purple over here. And I'm going to use a lot because I want to try to get it to go through all of these coffee filter parts. So I'll do purple on my edges. And I think I'll flip it over and do some purple on the other side. Fun. Just to make sure that it really soaks up that purple. And I think I'll follow the rainbow on down. The next color in the rainbow would be blue. Add in a bunch of blue in here. And you want to choose your favorite colors. If you like the school colors, for example, you'd want to use red and black. Maybe you want your snowflake to be pink and you have a pink marker. So these blend nicely, but I want to go ahead and, really see it on this one, how nicely it's going onto the coffee filter. It's not even close to dry yet. It really blended very well. So some green, and then I'll get some yellow. The problem with yellow is you got to use a lot before it's going to stick to things. It gets washed away very easily inside of other colors. So I'm going to put a lot of yellow, and it might disappear when I get it wet, but that's okay. So I will flip this over, do a whole bunch of yellow. And then finally, I finish mine off with a little bit of red. I'm skipping over orange in the rainbow because I know that yellow and red together will make orange. So I'm going to just let them combine. And red is very powerful, yellow is not. So I'm just making mine where the red isn't quite going over. So this can be a lot of fun when you make these and you cut them out. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my pipe this time. And I'm going to go over it. I'm going to get really wet. I can see some blending in there already. Really interesting. And to make sure that it goes through all of those coffee filter layers, I'm going to keep on pouring some more water on it. Ooh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to lose my yellow, but it's going to be pretty. So leave this to sit and dry. Now it's going to take a while. So I want to make sure I don't have to pick that up. I can slide it over because it's on the plastic, but I don't want to pick that up. I want to just leave it alone next to the other snowflake and let that dry. Okay, so in the meantime, while that's working, we'll do something that's not going to take quite as much water. So we're going to make this one. Now for this one, there's two things you would have to do. You need a black permanent marker like a Sharpie, or you need to let it dry and then go over the black. Now you'll know right away if it's a permanent marker or not, because if it blends like it did on these, then you know that it's going to make everything black. So that might not be what you're going for. What we want to do, we want to make those same folds for these and think about what designs we would put on our snowflake. So I'm going to really, really push down.